Reaction to finding out you're not going to play on Sunday?
Yeah, coach asked me, what I like to do. We had a conversation, and he called me back, let me know that we're probably going to be resting. And my reaction was kind of like I told my family. Obviously, my family, probably wanted a little bit more than me. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is winning football games and winning the playoffs. So I got a bigger goal in mind.
What was your message to Nick when he did ask you?
I mean, he asked me if I wanted to play, if I want to go for it. I said on Sunday, I probably didn't care too much for it. When I slept on it, it was an opportunity to implant my name in football history. I may never get another opportunity like that again. So I'm down, but at the end of the day, I don't care for putting the team at risk. He's the head coach for a reason. He makes those decisions, and whatever decision he wanted to make, I let him know if you want me to play that, I'm going to go out there and make sure I get it. And if we don't, I'm okay with that too.
You said you also talked to the line. What does it mean to you guys that your opinion mattered to
All right, Saquon, you are 101 yards away from breaking Eric Dickerson's 40-year-old record. When you just think about that, what comes to mind?
It's an honor to even be mentioned, in the same category of him, what he's able to accomplish. But yeah, I know that I wouldn't be able to even be mentioned in that without the guys up front, the tight ends and the wide receivers and our coaches here. So it's a blessing, but whatever happens. I'm ready if, we have the opportunity to do it, or if I rest and get ready for the playoffs too, I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we heard Eric Dickerson say it already that he doesn't know if you can break the record, and he doesn't necessarily want you to break the record. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think I can't break the record. Let's say that. But I get it. I wouldn't want one of my records to be broken. But to me, it's all cool. I'm a little kid living a dream. To even have those conversations or even be mentioning that. I'm a big fan of the position, big fan of the game. And, I remember when I watched the game, AP came close to doing it. I remember watching YouTubes of Barry Sanders rush for 2,000 against the Jets. So I'm living the dream. So it doesn't mean that much to me, but I'm on cloud nine, just having fun and just excited that we were able to clinch the division and, get ready for the playoffs.
I also know you, though, so I know you have goals. You keep them, you keep track of them, and hitting 2,000 yards, being the 9th running back to ever do that, hearing the entire stands chanting your name, chanting MVP after you rush for 2,000 yards. How do you describe the experience, the season, and that moment that you just were able to have in the stadium?
Yeah, the season's been unbelievable. You look back into before free agency, at this point last year when the season was ending, you're thinking like, what's next? What are we going to do? And you talk to your family about it, you talk to your friends about it, and then you make the decision and, you made the best decision of my life to be here and knowing that, be able to surround around a great team, but also be able to expand on my name and on the legacy that I want to leave back on this game and to be mentioned with 8 other guys, some of them that I watched growing up and to have my name mentioned with those guys is amazing. And then to hearing the MVP chants and, being in the game and doing it, it felt like a movie. I'm serious. It felt like I'm on cloud nine and just thankful that God's put me in position and, just got to keep going.
And as the football gods would have it, the opportunity for you to break the record will come against your former team that had a chance to sign you to a long-term deal. What would it mean to break the record against the Giants?
Yeah, if Coach Sirianni, made the decision and it was like, yeah, let's go get it. For me, it's more of the fact that I'm able to put myself in the conversation with a guy like Eric Dickerson, rather than being in New York. I'm thankful for all the things, that happened over there in New York. To be honest, it helped shape me to the person and player I am today. So if I was able to do it against that game, it would be an honor to do it on the same field with those guys too, not more so of a shot because there was years where I had a torn ACL or had ankle sprains and, the strength guys over there and the trainers over there, helped me get back on the field and to be able to be the person I am today. So I don't look at it as too excited to be able to do it against the Giants, but more of the opportunity to put myself in mention with Eric Dickerson. But if that's not the case either, I'm more than ready to sit out, get my body ready for doing something special.
All right, you did a great job. You held it down. It wasn't live, but we're going to run it. Thank you, Saquon, for your time.
All right, thank you.
Nick, any decision on what you're going to do this Sunday with the starters and with Saquon specifically?
Yeah, we're gonna rest some guys. I know we're locked into that number 2 seed, so we're gonna rest some guys. There's gonna be some guys that are resting. There are gonna be some guys that are in reserve roles. You can't obviously rest everybody with the schedule. With the roster. And so yeah, that's our plan moving in here forward.
Is Saquon going to be one of them?
Yeah, he'll probably be somebody that rests.
How valuable will that be for those guys? They've been playing. The bye was early this year. They've been playing 12 straight.
Yeah, that definitely played into all the decisions here. Is our bye week being week 5, very early bye week, and so it's very valuable to be able to be in this position to do that, and so again, we want to use this week. This isn't our first time having to do this, and we've had experience with this, so a lot of that went into planning all these things. We want to use this week to continue to get better. Whether we're playing in the game, whether we're not playing in the game, whether we're playing in a reserve role, whether we have a big opportunity ahead of us, we want to use this week to get better because of our goals moving forward.
Some other coaches have publicly said that they find it difficult to tell players that they'll be playing versus other ones. What is your response to that, and how do you tell the players so that the ones that are playing don't feel like they're...
Yeah, you just try to have a communication with all the guys, and and that communication can look differently, whether you call, whether you text, whether it's position coach, whether it's myself, and so you just go through that. But we have a very selfless team. I'll say that. Like I've told you guys, we have videos after their game about some of the things that they've said in the media, promoting team and the celebrations that they have together, and just listening to that last game of, I think Lane said something really cool. He said, the relationships that we have make us, he said it somewhere along these lines, the relationships that we have with each other make us just, not want to let each other down and this and that. And so I thought that was cool. And, our guys that are not playing in the game will use this as an opportunity to rest their bodies and to help their teammate get better. And the guys that are playing, again, some of them will be in a reserve role. Some of them will play more than they've have in the past. Some of them will play less than they have in the past. So everybody's in a little bit different scenario, and everybody was thought of individually. And it's not, hey, here's the book on this, right? Everybody was thought through. Each and every person was thought through individually.
With Saquon specifically, what was the consideration in allowing him to pursue that record and then ultimately deciding not to?
Yeah, again, not going to get into all that. I mean, obviously a lot plays into it. Obviously, it's a very special record that's been standing for a very long time by a great player. It's a team record. It's a team record that everybody's involved in. So you weigh in all those things, but at the end of the day, you just try to do what's best for the team. Again, when the bye was, guys, how guys are feeling, the bumps and bruises we can take care of. We've put ourselves in a position to be able to, let's say, be in this situation. And so, our goals, are to have success, and to have a good, play good the next game we play, not only New York, but whoever we play after that. And so, we think that this plays into that. So it wasn't the easiest decision to go through, but, we have great people in this building and had a lot of input from a lot of different people, players included. Howie and I discussed a bunch, position coaches and coordinators and I discussed a bunch. I discussed with players, and we have just selfless guys that, want to do what's best for the football team, and, getting some guys some rest, who've been grinding for the past, 12 weeks, we thought was within the best interest of the team. Of course, I talked to Saquon, yeah.
Yeah, decision quarterback? Situation?
Yeah, we'll see as the week progresses and where we are as we continue on. So we'll see.
What was your conversation with Saquon like?
Yeah, I'll keep my conversations private with these guys, but just discussing it with him and, where he was and what he felt, and, you guys can talk to him, and but I always keep my conversations private with these guys.
Players who won't play on Sunday, how do you want them to handle this week?
Yeah, get better this week, just like we do each and every week. Want to go out there and try to win this football game, just like we do every week. What an opportunity for some of the guys that are going to be playing that maybe don't get as many reps. So huge opportunity for some people to do it in in a NFL regular season game. Again, this isn't the first time we've been in this scenario. You look back at your notes on that, you always grow from different things that you go through with these scenarios, but excited for these guys and their opportunity to go out there and play.
How is Jalen Hurts doing, and is he still in concussion protocol?
Yeah, he's still in there, and so we'll see as the week progresses through.
You started Dallas's practice window. How important is it to get him back in the mix, and how quickly do you think that's going to be possible?
Yeah, we'll see. And it's hard to tell. You can't ever really tell. And getting back on the field and doing things. Start his window, and it'll be super important to have him back. He's a great football player that has helped this team win a lot of football games. So really excited for the possibility to get him back. And like I said, we'll see when that happens. But it's just good to get him back on the field and getting him practicing again, seeing him out there because he is a presence for our offense.
Nick, you mentioned talking to Howie. Was Jeffrey involved in the conversations at all?
I talked to everybody about everything, use all inputs. So of course I talked to Mr. Lurie about everything. That's what, again, communication. Good communication is what good organizations do. We have so many resources here to be able to discuss and talk. And you use all those. Ultimately, I had to make the decision of what I felt was the best, and for the team. Luckily, we have great, selfless guys on this football team. But at the end of the day, I had to make the decision of what I felt was best, and this is the direction that we went. But so many good resources, Mr. Lurie, and we've been in this since I've been here, but Howie and Mr. Lurie have been in this same situation multiple times as well. In addition to the past 4 years, so they've have a lot of experience of this as well. So of course you use all resources that you have at your hands to help you make the best decision for the football team.
Nick, can you tell us if Jalen's progressing through the protocol?
Yeah, I'm not sure how I don't think I talk about the protocol. The protocol is what it is, and I don't have we listen to the doctors, we follow the doctor's advice in this, and they do this by design again, so the people that are involved in the concussion protocol are the ones that are handling those things, and again, we just take it day by day and see where they are each and every day.
You hold importance for records with players and try to communicate those things. How do you frame what Saquon's done this year without it?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I guess I didn't really know exactly who those 9 guys were on that list of 2,000-yard rushers. I have an idea because I saw it. But those are they all Hall of Fame players? Are most of them Hall of Fame players? Henry's obviously.
Lewis should be, but he's not.
Okay. That's all right. I can't go. All right. So Jamal Lewis. Who else? Okay, so he's not in, but
But he'll be in.
Yeah. So yeah. There you go. So you hear the list, right? You hear the list. A lot of really phenomenal players. Barry Sanders on it?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of really phenomenal football players. A lot of them that are in the Hall of Fame, and so that's a special thing for the team. That's a special thing for Saquon. You think back and I think there's probably been about 4 or 5 quarters, if you add up all the time, that if you add up all the time that some of our starters have missed through the year, with us having leads in the fourth quarter, that's almost a game too. And so you look back at that and you're like, well, you really go through those things and you say, this is the best thing that you could do for these guys at the time to make sure that they're healthy. And I think that, again, all those things add up. The bye, having the bye, 12 weeks ago is part of that process. But, you think about all the times that they've had off in that fourth quarter, and it does allow you to be, we've noticed through a 10-game winning streak that some of those games that you have off, like we were able to have a little bit of time off before we played, we were able to have a quarter off before we played Washington on a Thursday. That mattered. Right? All those quarters that they had off during that win streak, those mattered for the next game, and they mattered for the next game. Again, I can't tell you how selfless this football team is, and they want to, I won't get into each and every discussion I had with everybody, but I know that the common denominator of what was coming out of all their mouths, this was, let's just do what's best for the team. And, man, that's a special, that's a special group of guys that we have, and really, really fortunate to be associated with these guys.
All right, last one, guys.
Do you think back at all to the conversation you had with Saquon in New York, or up in New York after you said it's up to you?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't really think about that, but yeah, again, he's awesome teammate. You guys have gotten to know him. I think it's pretty obvious how special this guy is.
All right.
What's different this time?
I get him.
Okay.
What's different this time, either with the situation or with you as a coach, compared to 21 when you had Devonta play early in that game to get that record?
It's different positions too. It's there's a lot that goes into it. Every team's different. And you have things of, past situations that you've been in, and you take all those things into account. But at the end of the day, every team, every individual is different, and that you always got to weigh all those things in there. So it's a different situation. It's a different scenario that we use the 22 and 21 as a guide, but also. Again, just like you treat every individual different, you do every situation as well.
All right. Thanks. We got to flip.
They don't respect us. They don't know about our heart, man. That thing that's beating your doggone chest right now. Whatever you get,